Welcome to the second lecture on mass transfer operation. Before going to the second lecture, we will just have a recap on the first lecture what we have done. In this lecture, we have introduced you the objectives of the course and then the overall plan of the course syllabus, and then we have given you the introduction to mass transfer, what is mass transfer and what are the common examples of mass transfer. For example, we said if we add a lump of sugar in a cup of tea, then there is a mass transfer where sugar particles diffuses throughout and form the uniform solution. There are some industrial examples like the separations of CO2, which is a greenhouse gas, by using absorption is a mass transfer operation. We have also classified the multi-phase systems, classification, and we have seen there are 6 phases of contact: gas system, gas liquid system, gas solid system, liquid system, liquid solid system and solid systems. And we have explained based on the phases contact what are the examples in each category, and then we have seen what are the mechanism of mass transfer and then the concentration gradient or the chemical potential gradient for mass transfer. As we can see, if there is a multi-phase system, for multi-phase system, then we have seen the chemical potential or activity is the true driving force for mass transfer. True driving force for mass transfer. But in general, we consider mass transfer or we analyze mass transfer in a single phase system. In a single phase system or each phase separately we analyze. So, in each phase concentration is the driving force. For a single phase, the driving force is the concentration difference. And the mechanism of mass transfer, as we said, there are two basic mechanisms of mass transfer. One is molecular mass transfer, which is based on the molecular diffusion, and second mechanism is convective mass transfer, which is based on the eddy diffusion. So, in this lecture we will start with the molecular diffusion phenomena and other related examples on this topic. So, molecular diffusion, as we said in the last class, it is the diffusion of the molecules by virtue of their thermal energy. Since the diffusion of molecules by molecular diffusion occurs by thermal energy, the rate of diffusion is slow. We can explain this molecular diffusion mechanism by simple kinetic theory. Like in case of gas molecules, suppose there are A and B type of molecules are present in a system. So, the A molecules diffuses in a straight manner until it collides with the other molecule in the system, and then it changes its direction and path, and then it again travels in a straight path. So, the motion is known as the Brownian motion and the path is zigzag. But the total distance travel, if we consider suppose time t1, t2, t3 and t4. So, total time is t up to t4 and the molecules A travels up to this point. Then the net distance traveled by the molecule is a fraction of the total distance traveled by the molecule. The total distance traveled by the molecule is the mean free path of the molecule, and then the rate of diffusion is defined the total distance traveled per unit time. Since the total distance traveled by the molecule is a fraction of the net distance traveled, so the rate of diffusion is slow. So, rate of molecular diffusion is slow. How we can increase this rate? There are two ways we can increase this rate. One is increase temperature. If we increase the temperature, the molecular motion will increase and the rate of molecular diffusion will increase. And second, decrease the pressure. Decrease pressure. If we decrease the pressure of the systems, the number of collisions will reduce. If the number of collisions reduces, the net distance travel or mean free path of the molecule will be more or higher and the rate of molecular diffusion will be more. So, another effect on molecular diffusion is the barrier. Like if we consider rate of evaporation of water, rate of evaporation of water at 25 degrees centigrade under complete vacuum. And it is roughly 3.3 kg per meter square second of water surface. Now, if we place a stagnant layer at 1 atmosphere pressure and the thickness of the layer is around say 0.1 millimeter above the water surface. Then the rate will decrease by about 600 times. The rate of diffusion reduces is about 600 times. So, the effect of barrier on molecular diffusion is very important. Now, if we compare the difference between the molecular diffusion and eddy diffusion, which one is faster and how they compare each other. Now, consider a tank of total height say 1.5 meter and 50% of it poured with a salt solution without disturbing. If we place another 50% by pure water, and then leave it undisturbed, it can be calculated that this salt concentration at the top layer will reach around 87% after 10 years. And it will reach around 99% after 28 to 30 years. So, we can see how slow this process is, and but instead of keeping it stagnant conditions, undisturbed conditions, if we place one stirrer between the two layers and stir it with 20 rpm revolution per minute, then it will take hardly 1 to 2 minutes to reach complete uniformity. So, the eddy diffusion is much faster compared to the turbulent diffusion. Now, in mass transfer, we have to have some units to represent the flux, and we know the concentration in each phase is the driving force for mass transfer. So, we need to know the concentration units. The concentration are represented in different ways. One is mass concentration. This is for component I. This is defined as rho I is equal to m I by V. So, the total mass concentration can be written as rho is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n. If there are n components in the mixture, it will be rho I, and the mass fraction is defined as W I, which is equal to rho I summation over I is equal to 1 to n rho I. So, which is equal to rho I by rho, and sum of the mass fractions summation over I is equal to 1 to n W I will be equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n rho I by rho. So, this is the total sum of mass fraction, sum of mass fraction. So, other concentrations representations is the molar concentrations. And it is defined as C I for component I is equal to P I by R T. So, the total molar concentration we can represent it C is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n C I. Total molar concentration for ideal gas mixture we can write C is equal to 1 by R T summation over I is equal to 1 to n P I is equal to P T by R T. Mole fraction of component I, mole fraction of component I for liquid and solid systems can be represented as X I is equal to C I by C. For gaseous component, it is represented by Y I, which is equal to C I by C. If the gas components are ideal gas mixtures, then this will be P I by P T for ideal gas mixture. And then summation of mole fractions will get summation over I is equal to 1 to n, X I will be 1 and summation over I is equal to 1 to n Y I should be 1. Now, let us take an example to calculate these mole fractions. Suppose the feed gas to an absorber has the composition 90% methane, 5% ethane, 4% normal propane and 1% butane. These are at following temperatures 313 Kelvin and 200 kilopascal pressure. Now, we have to calculate the composition of the feed gas in terms of mass fraction and the total mass concentration of the feed gas. So, for calculation of the mass fractions, let us take a basis. So, consider basis 100 kmol of feet. So, let us develop the table. We have components, and then kmol, molecular weight of each component, mass in terms of kg, and then mass fraction. So, components we have CH4, C2H6, normal propane, C3H8, NC4H10, and this is, as the basis is 100 kilomole of feed. So, 90% of this component. So, it will be 90, 5% of this, and then 4% of NC3H8 and 1% of. So, total will be 100 kmol, as we have taken the basis. We know the molecular weight 16, 30, 40, and then 58. We can calculate the mass kmol of each species with multiplied by the molecular weight will give you the mass. So, 90 into 16 will be 1440, and then this one will be 150, 40 multiplied by 4 160, and then 58 multiplied by 158. So, total mass is 1808 kg, and then the mass fractions will be equal to 1440 divided by the total mass 1808. So, it will be 0.80. Similarly, the next one is 0.08, and then 0.09 and 0.03. So, sum of all these is 1.0. So, this is mass fractions. The first questions is answered, and then the second one to calculate the total mass concentration. So, to calculate the total mass concentration, we can calculate total molar concentration first. Total molar concentration. So, C is equal to P by RT. So, pressure is given 200 kilopascal, and RT we can write 8.314 into temperature 313 Kelvin. So, it will be around 0.077 kmol per meter cube. Then average molecular weight we can calculate M average will be, the total molecular weight is 1, the mass is given 1808 divided by 100 is equal to 18.08 kg per k mole. So that the total mass concentration which is rho is equal to C into m average will be equal to C is given 0.077 k mole per meter cube multiplied by m average 18.08 kg per k mole. So, it will be, so k mole cancelled out. So, it will be 1.39 kg per meter cube. So, this is the total mass concentration. Now, let us take another example to calculate the mole fractions and total molar concentration. A liquid mixture contains 30 weight% sodium nitrate and 70 weight% water. The solution temperature is 300 K, and at this temperature the density of the solution is assumed as 1050 kg per meter cube. Now, calculate the composition in terms of the mole fraction and the total molar concentration. Similarly, like previous case, we can take a basis say 1 kg of liquid mixture. We can develop the table like earlier. Component, mass, molecular weight, k mole and mole fraction. So, component is sodium nitrate and water. The percentage is given 30 weight%. So, this is 0.3 kg and this is 0.7 kg. Molecular weight is 85 and 18, and this is kilomole. If you calculate, it will be 0.0035 and this is 0.0389. So, the total k mole is 0.0424 and then mole fractions is this k mole 0.0035 divided by total mole. This is the total mole 0.0424. So, then this is will be equal to 0.08, and similarly for this kilomole the mole fractions will be 0.92. So, the total mole fraction is 1.0. Now, to calculate the total molar concentration, we can calculate average molecular weight. So, this is M average is equal to 1 kg is the basis divided by total K mole is equal to 1 by kg divided by 0.0424 K mole, 24 K mole. So, this is equal to 23.585 kg per K mole. Now, the total molar concentration is defined as C is equal to rho by M average. So, rho is given, which is 1050 kg per meter cube divided by M average, which is 23.585 kg per K mole. So, this is 44.52 K mole per meter cube. This is the total concentration. So, this way we can calculate the molar and mass concentration. Now, another term in case of mass transfer is the velocity of diffusion or diffusion velocities. The diffusion velocities are defined either in terms of the mass average velocity or molar average. Mass average velocity or molar average velocity. So, for mass average velocity, it is defined in terms of mass concentration. V mass average is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n rho I V I divided by summation over I is equal to 1 to n rho I, which we can write equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n rho I by rho into V I is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n W I V I. V I is equal to absolute velocity of species I with respect to fixed reference frame, and W I is the mass fraction of species I. Now, molar average velocity we can define V mole average is equal to summation over I equal to 1 to n Ci Vi divided by summation over I is equal to 1 to n Ci. So this is equal to, we can write summation over I is equal to 1 to n Ci by C into Vi is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to n Xi Vi. Xi is the mole fraction of species I. Now, let us take an example to calculate the average velocities. A gas mixture contains 15% hydrogen, 30% carbon monoxide, 5% CO2 and 50% nitrogen. This flows through a tube of 1 inch diameter at 15 bar total pressure. If the velocities of the respective components are given as 0.05 meter per second, 0.03 meter per second, 0.02 meter per second and 0.03 meter per second, then calculate the mass average and molar average velocities of the mixture. Now, rename the components as H2 is 1, CO as 2, CO2 as 3 and nitrogen as 4. So, we can write the molar average velocities, that is V mole average. From the definition, it is 1 by C summation over, we can just expand the summation like C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus C3 V3 plus C4 V4. Now, if we substitute, the velocities are given and the concentration of each term, if we substitute, then we will be able to calculate the total molar average velocity. So, in this case we can write this will be y1 v1 plus y2 v2 plus y3 v3 plus y4 v4. Now, after substitution in this relation, V mole average will be 0.15 into 0.05 plus 0.3 multiplied by 0.03 plus 0.05 multiplied by 0.02 plus 0.5 multiplied by 0.03. So, this will give you the total 0.0325 meter per second. Now, to calculate the mass average velocity, so V mass average we can calculate, and we know this is 1 by rho 1 V 1 plus rho 2 V 2 plus rho 3 V 3 plus rho 4 V 4, and we know rho I is equal to P I M I divided by R T if it is ideal gas, and then rho is equal to P M average by R T. So, we can get rho I by rho is equal to P I M I by P M average. So, we can write Y I M I rho average. If we substitute here, the equations would be V mass average is equal to 1 by m summation over I is equal to 1 to n is equal to 4 y I m I V I. So, then we can calculate m average as per our given data, which will be y 1 m 1 plus y 2 m 2 and y 4 m 4. After substitution, it will be 24.9. So, V mass average we can calculate using this correlations, which is 1 by m average into y 1 m 1 V 1 plus y 4 m 4 V 4. After substitution, both m average and all this data, it will be 0.014 meter per second. So, this way we can calculate the molar average velocity and mass average velocity for a given system. So, now we will discuss on the flux. The flux is defined as the rate of transport of a component through unit area normal to the transport. And this flux is a vector quantity. This flux may be defined with respect to coordinates fixed in space, fixed coordinates, or it may be defined with respect to a moving plane moving with a mass average velocity or molar average velocity. Or molar average velocity. So, mass flux we can define relative to a stationary observer or plane. So, n I mass is rho I V I, and the total mass flux n mass is rho v mass average. Similarly, if we calculate the mass flux with respect to a plane moving with the mass average velocity, then we can define J I mass is equal to rho I V I minus V mass average. Similarly, the molar flux we can define with respect to fixed plane, and that we can write N I mole is equal to C I V I, and the total molar flux N molar total is C into V mole average, and if this flux is defined with respect to the molar average velocity, then J I mole we can write C I V I minus V mole average. The relations between this mass average and molar average velocities we can write from the above correlations. J I mass is equal to rho I V I V mass average. So, you can write rho I V I rho I V mass average. The N I mass we know, rho I V I. So, J I mass is equal to N I mass minus rho I V mass average. So, N I mass will be J I mass plus rho I V mass average. Similarly, we can derive molar flux N I mole is equal to J I mole plus C I V mole average. So, if we ask a question, what is the unit, what is the SI unit of molar flux? As we defined, it is the rate of transport per unit area per unit time. So, it will be K mole per unit area and time. So, K mole per meter square second. Second question, under what conditions the mass average velocity and the molar average velocity should be same. The answer is when the molecular weight of both the components are same, then the total mass average velocity and the molar average velocity should be same. Another question, if we ask what are the basis for molecular diffusion or what are the driving force for molecular diffusion? Or the cause of molecular diffusion. It is the thermal energy by which diffusion occurs. Thank you.